English in India. Course 3, first year. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll allow me, anta.
Yeah, now you are getting it. Rini, now you are getting it.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you can please go ahead, okay? A
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good afternoon, students. Now you are having the counselor, academic counselor Rini Haveli, and she'll be there with you for 1.5 hours for this third paper, okay? Listen to her properly. Yeah, go ahead. All the best,
Yes,
Rini.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon. Sorry for the technical issue. I'll just wait for 2 minutes so that someone will join us, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, no problem.
This is your first class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
How many
Sheikh
joined us?
Sultana Mehboob, mute yourself.
How many joined us?
Sheikh Sultana Mahmood. Mute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Hello. Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? A very good afternoon. I would like to start off by welcoming everyone who are part of this program and looking forward to explore this wonderful world of English literature. All right. So myself, my name is Rini. Okay. One second. Can you see the PPT, guys? Okay.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
able? Yeah, yeah. Please,
Ma'am,
this is my first class. Can you see, right?
no, madam. Your WhatsApp chat is showing.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
your WhatsApp chat.
WhatsApp, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Rini, you are sharing the other window. You share the window of your PPT. In your desktop, you have another window called as PPT. Rini?
Yes, ma'am. This is
Yeah.
it.
It's okay. Take your own time. Close the WhatsApp window. Go for again. Close the WhatsApp window. Go for another screen. Yes. Now it is visible, Rini.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Don't worry.
Spare
Don't
me,
worry.
guys. This is my first technical things. Okay, but
It's
on the
okay.
PPT, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you're going good.
So, yeah,
Mm.
yes, students. My name is Rini. I'm a digital marketer professional, and I'm proud alumni of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That means I've done my degree in BRO and also PG. Okay, and I'm a digital marketer. Now I'm proudly taking up the classes because I wanted my profession to be also in teaching. Okay, so today you know that, right? Your class is English in India, right, students?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam.
Are your textbooks with you? Have
Yes,
you at
ma'am.
least gone through the textbook? So our
Yes,
first
ma'am.
unit is like transportation, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. When it is when you hear the word transportation, what strikes your mind? Can you please tell
Moving
me?
from one place to another place.
Correct. So now
Madam,
here,
expanding our knowledge, language.
yes. So transportation here is we are talking about English language. So as our subject is English in India, as our subject is English in India, we are talking only about the transportation, how English language has came from the other countries to India. So this is an interesting course. Actually, even personally myself, I like this course, and I hope you also enjoy the study of this subject. All right. And what motivates is the awareness of with awareness of how English was introduced in India, and also the transportation phase. uh, you will be covering all the 4 units, right? 4 units of overview period and the pre-transportation phase, Macaulay's minute, and transportation in English. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, first, when we talk about languages, uh, I want to tell you that we should be proud to say that our India, is a home of multitude of vernacular and non-vernacular languages. When I say vernacular, that means you can see on the PPT, that means native languages, like what we spoke, what we speak, like, right? Then natural slang. If you are all Telugu speaking people, so the natural Telugu, whatever we speaks with the idioms, with the natural slang, is called vernacular. When it comes to non-vernacular, uh, it is not our native language. Can you give me example? What is not our native language?
Japanese.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct, correct. So vernacular is native, non-vernacular is like some language coming from outside. Okay, but we should be proud of us. I'll stop you there about the English thing, but as it is India, we should be proud of ourselves. You just keep that in mind, that we have a broader diversity, and we have multitudes of languages, and you can see there it is estimated that over 1,600 languages are spoken in India. Okay. And the Indian Constitution recognizes only 22 languages for official. That 22 languages we all know: Bengali, Tamil, like that. Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. And we know what is the topmost languages of spoken in India. That is, one is Hindi and the other is English.
English.
English, right? Hindi is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
first language for 40% of the population, while 12 is. We also know that we gone through while schooling, and also we know that Hindi is our first language, and second language, some people will take Hindi, right?
Is it
Right.
first language or second language or national language?
Uh, na- Actually, it was national language. Now it is like they
First
remove the
language,
national.
excuse me, ma'am. First language varies to person to person. For example, in case of me, for instance, I speak my first language is Urdu. So
Yeah.
yours might be different
No, no. This is about the case when English did not come into the thing.
existence.
Your, your,
Yeah.
mother, your mother language is Urdu.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
exactly.
First
Exactly.
language is mother tongue.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's what. Like I kept it as Hindi. So for Chennai people, it is Tamil. This is only before, like when English did not come to the existence. I'm talking about, yes.
In India, there are many languages now that all come in vernacular.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes. So next, are your textbooks with you, children, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
yes. So
Yes, ma'am.
let us look into the history of the English. First, who were ruling our country?
British.
Yeah, before British. I'll just take you to the pre-transportation stage. That is what we are discussing. You can check. You can check in your textbooks. Somebody, can you please mute? There is a disturbance. Okay, okay. So listen. So, hello, please. There is a disturbance. Can you please mute? I don't know who it is. Right. Okay. So, are you getting me? Can you hear?
Yes, yes,
Am I
ma'am.
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Right. So, let us take a glimpse of what happened. What happened? Uh, why English has come to India? Okay, before whatever we are discussing, before what happened is the European countries. Who all the European countries? The Portuguese, the Dutch, and the French, right? Portuguese, Dutch, French, these were the European countries who were ruling India. And can you please tell me why did they come to India?
Trading.
Trading.
Trade.
Yeah, trading. Yeah, there is a saying in your textbook. They said that it is a gorgeous East. They called India as a gorgeous. They gave a good name that is called gorgeous East. Can you tell me why we got gorgeous East? Why they, when there is no education, why did they say gorgeous East? That means we had plenty of spices here for the trading. All right, we have all our the what do you call the diamonds, the Mughals, right? The Mughals, there is a saying they wore the Kohinoors and all. So we have everything, but we just did not have the education. We, do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
we had everything. We had everything, but we didn't have the education. That is the only thing. But they didn't have anything, so they saw our India and they said that it's a gorgeous East. They gave a term called gorgeous East. So first who gave the sea route to India?
Vasco da Gama.
Vasco da Gama.
Good. Correct.
1498.
Yes. It is also there, right? It is also there in our textbooks. The Vasco da Gama has the one first who placed the sea route to India. He has explored India before all the other European countries. When you say Vasco da Gama, that means he's a Portuguese guy, right? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Right, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So Portuguese, I'll tell you it in which page it is. You can turn to your pages to 8, page number 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you see 2.3, the advent of Europeans?
Ladu tinama 5 minutes ಆಗುತ್ತದಾರಿ.
Yes, ma'am. We can see.
Yeah, there you can see the first name Vasco da Gama.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Vasco da Gama is a person who discovered the new trade to the India in 1498, and he is the Portuguese guy. That means who ruled first? Portuguese.
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 And these Portuguese, where did they put their empire in Indian? Which
Goa.
exactly?
Goa,
Who is
ma'am.
that? Who is that giving me answers? That a wonderful answer. Correct. Good. So the coastal area, like I think it's also Mumbai and Goa. So
Yes, ma'am.
he put his empire there, and after few tradings and after few centuries, who took over the Portuguese? The Dutch. Okay.
Dutch.
Yes, the Dutch. And then after the Dutch ruling for some time, who took over Dutch?
French.
Correct.
English.
Correct. No. English comes later.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm Swati here.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a small suggestion for you. Ma'am, can we have an introduction instead of everybody? Let's everybody mute, like a student. And can you give a brief explanation about what this transportation talks about? Let us stop questioning about. First, let us know, not textbook, referring the textbook. We already referred, ma'am. We already have done. We are doing it with the assignments. And what I need to tell, I mean to say is, let's
Right.
have a small explanation first. Then you pose the questions we are ready to say. Like if you are having
Okay.
initially the mixture, then we can't understand what topic we are in, and
That's
I'm
what I
sorry
said.
to
Then the today is the topic of transportation,
Explain
yes,
them.
ma'am.
the
Yes, yes,
transportation era.
yes.
Yeah,
F-
yeah,
Did you get?
please.
Yes, ma'am. Did you get me, ma'am?
Yeah,
Actually, can
I got you.
brief, like what is behind this transportation? How did Vasco da Gama come? Can you briefly like explain in innovative way, like something?
But see,
Yeah, something
anyone?
good should come to an imagination.
No, 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 no. You are asking me why did Vasco da Gama come to
Yes,
India,
yes,
right? So anybody will explore, right? Say the
yes,
bigger
ma'am.
countries explore the smaller ones.
Yes,
Yeah, so that is the reason when they are exploring, actually, he did not want to explore India. He wanted to go some other country, actually. So when he wanted to go some other country, but he ended up with coming to India. So he said that Indians are also red Indians, something like that. He said. So, but our topic is like, see, English. This is subject. What I'm teaching is English in India. How English came to India. That is only our topic.
yes, yes.
If I get into all the philosophers, what happened then, I don't think I'll get much time to focus on your subject. I think so, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, I do understand.
Yeah, because I have limited classes, like only 8 classes. I need to finish off all your
Yes,
subjects. I mean, all
yes, I
the yeah,
understand.
all the units, because we are not children, and we are grown-ups, and I can see, just to brush up here. I really appreciate what you're coming up with, but as this is not the regular classes, like weekly classes, we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
only taking
Continue.
care of.
Continue with your class
I,
only.
Yeah, because
ma'am,
some
yes,
some students, if they'll don't even have to no hold the book and read. So if they get to listen, so they'll listen and they'll go and write the
ma'am,
exams.
ma'am, I really interrupt again. Please do not
Continue.
mention rest of the textbook. We are here. We are very interesting. Like what ma'am is going to say.
Okay.
Bring back to the world. Bring back us to the world. We are not mature.
Oh, so
Like
you
think that
you
we are
want
children. Still we are.
so so you want
Yeah,
me not to
introduction.
refer anything
Introduction.
on the sub? Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
yeah, your good
Don't
name,
think we are don't
please.
we are it's not like that. What I mean to say is, see, when any student, whatever it may be, student, we are students itself, not matured one, not youngsters or teenagers. It's not like that, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Before why I'm stopping you in the sense is, first initially when we start any topic, we raise only few questions, not
Mm-hmm.
explanation. First we need to explore. You have explored us. You told us that transportation we are going to discuss,
Yeah.
but behind the transportation what has happened, that should be there in our mind. Why Vasco da Gama came, that question arises again in our thoughts. It immediately gets into our thoughts. Yes, why, who is this Vasco da Gama? That fraction of seconds also we should not waste. What I mean to say is, next sessions whenever we're going to continue, this background should come into our sense.
Yeah, but
So I thought
why Vasco da
it would
Gama
be
came
helpful.
to? Yeah, yeah. See, I
Please.
can.
I think, madam, what she means is she wants, madam,
You can
Yeah,
she
yeah.
refer
means
YouTube videos
make
about
it less
Vasco da Gama.
interactive.
Mm.
Please
Please
get into
continue
the
with
subject, ma'am.
Oh,
Leave the
oh.
discussion, please.
Did anybody understand what I mean to say
Yes,
exactly?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
You mean to
I'm
say make it less
a little bit
interactive, and ma'am
scared.
would explain more.
Yes, I'm scared enough, but still I wanted to explore because I'm today like Three Idiots movie. If you see, I don't want to refer the textbook. What ma'am says, I
Yes,
want my
the
that
time
gets
is so
planted
less.
into my mind.
Let man speak.
Leave
The
it,
time
ma'am.
is gone, no.
Please get into the syllabus.
Yes, please. So, whoever I appreciate your thoughts. Okay, I'll make this less interactive. Okay. See, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody wants something else. You want something, the other person wants something else. So because this is an open university here, students are from every other corner. Even the housewives will be learning. So let us make no, okay to all the other participants who are there in this. All right. Okay. So I will not ask you any questions. I will not ask any more questions. So we'll get into the topic. Our topic is transportation. Just remember that our topic is transportation. Why English has come to India? Why English has come to India? When European countries were doing the supremacy over India, they were fighting themselves actually. So they thought India is a gorgeous east because we have good spices, good enough of spices, good enough of all the wealthy things. So they thought they will loot everything, they will do the trading, they will do everything. And here I have opened the PPT saying that settlers and colonizers, because you will get this thing in your exam. Okay, this type of questions they will go. Who are settlers? Who are colonizers? Who are settlers? The word itself says settle. Who will get settled? So obviously colonizers are European people, right? All the European people are colonizers. Settlers who are here, will get back to it, come to it later, because we are talking about the European countries. Here, there is another term which you'll get in the exam. I am only concentrating because, okay, leave that because you said no other topic. So there is also a topic, important topic called power struggle. So what is power struggle? Power struggle is nothing but when the European countries when the European countries are struggling themselves for the supremacy over India. That is called power struggle. You can, whenever you will get that such kind of questions, you can say that who are all the European countries? As I said, Portuguese, Dutch, and French and English. So first Portuguese took over India, then they ruled. Then the Dutch took over Portuguese. Portuguese left and Dutch took over. After few years, um, Dutch left, French took over, and French and British. These two are the topmost um, uh, European powers which were struggling so hard. Like battle is tough for both of them. They have ruled for so many years comparing to other European countries, and then last British Raj took over the place. French, they left. British Raj took over the place after so many years. You can also mention that these two are the supreme European countries who were fighting for the fighting for India. Then what happened when the British has come? No, when you're talking about English, no other European countries were interested to bring English to the country. You should. There is a simple question: why will they bring English? They just came for a trade. They just came to loot and finish off their business, whatever the business they came for. They wanted to finish off the business. But here comes when the English, why did they think when the British is ruling, even Britishers or the colonizers, they didn't come to settle. If you take here, when I stop here, and if I ask who are the modern settlers, if I ask, for example, we can say that people who are going to abroad and settling there, who get PR in USA and all, they are settlers because they go to other country and they settle there. So when they say settle and colonizers, you can see settlers are the people who move to new era or new country to live there permanently. For the modern era, they are the examples. Settlers often come to search of better opportunities, more land, or freedom for persecution. And colonizers are the all the European who came here for the trading. They expanded there, they became colonies, and they termed it as a colonizers. Colonizers are the people or groups who take control of new era or country, often by force. This is by force. Okay, colonizers typically come from a powerful country and aim to exploit. Yes, powerful always take take control of the powerless. So that is the thing happened here. So when they're trading and when these things are happening, they expanded their British has expanded their their supremacy things in India all over the places, all over places. Then when they faced when they wanted to do the trading things more effectively, then they were facing difficulty. Why they were facing difficulty? Because their their language is English and ours is the um, you know ours is the different languages. We speak some speaks that time some speak Urdu, Sanskrit, something like that. So um, these European people were facing difficulties to administrate the things, to trade, to expand. Then there was a then they thought that they will bring English to India. So when it comes to languages, so we will stop there. Why English has come? When the British, when the European countries were trading, at last when the British has took over all the supremacy, then they were facing difficulty, because only the perfect business will happen only when you understand, when you get communicated well, and that was not happening there till the trading, till the business, till that process. Every nobody was thinking to bring English here. So that was a point there, why the transportation, why did the English has come to India. There is a small view which I gave you. So language. So before English, what are the languages India has? There are many languages, as we discussed, but what are the main languages? Who are the who are descendants, who came to from the Indus side or the European side or the any other subcontinent side? Who are we will go through just a glimpse of it. So around 5000 BC, the Aryans migrated to Indian subcontinent and settled in the region, contributing to the Vedic. We have already known about the Vedic civilization. So Aryans are from Vedic civilization. With Aryans came one of the Indo-European language, that is Sanskrit. Now Sanskrit came from Aryans. We all know. Sanskrit came from Aryans. Sanskrit is considered the root of many modern languages. Okay. Sanskrit is considered as a root of many early Aryans who had settled in the Indus Valley soon grew and spread towards east, that is south side. This long process of Aryanization of the Indian subcontinent pictured in the Vedic and epic literatures. In epic literatures like Ramayana, Mahabharata, you know what is this Aryan civilization, Aryanization and everything. The culture of Aryan is, as you know, the culture of Aryan is very strong, rich in potentiality, and typically Indian. This is about all Sanskrit. Sanskrit, because the most important language of ancient India. We respect that language. Sanskrit is the most important language of ancient India. Sanskrit means carefully. This Sanskrit word is, whatever the Sanskrit word is that the meaning of the Sanskrit is carefully made, or you can also call it as perfected. Sanskrit literature contains words dealing with the drama, history, philosophy, grammar, astronomy, and medicine. So Sanskrit deals with all of these things, and we also come across this. If you take Kalidas, some of the most important names are Kalidas. What did Kalidas write? Shakuntala, Meghaduta, such epic things, and Valmiki wrote Ramayana, and Vyasa, Mahabharata, Aryabhatta. All these big scholars, whatever they have written in Sanskrit. The immense immense knowledge, wisdom, whatever they gave, everything was written in Sanskrit. So Aryans bought Sanskrit. So languages before India were Sanskrit, the main, because the Aryans were migrated from the Indus. And when we keep, the first thing is Aryans, and then next when we talk is Mughals. Before English, what are the languages we have in India? That is, first we discussed about Aryans. Then next when we come, it is of Mughals, which is Muslims. Yeah. Arrival of Muslims. From there, the arrival of Muslims in India begin around the 7th century and continued for several centuries. Muslim invaders like Muhammad of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghor, and Muhammad, local rulers, and over the years of Mughal emperor was established. Persian became the official court language, and Arabic remained the language of their religion. Here, when we talk about Sanskrit, Sanskrit were their the daily use language, and also the epics were also written in Sanskrit. Both, they were doing both the things only in the Sanskrit. When it comes to Mughal, I mean Muslims, it is the religious language is Arabic. You should remember this. The religious language is Arabic, but the daily use language is Persian. So now, what is the fusion here? Before English, in India, that is, there is a fusion of Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic. These three, you have to keep it in mind. So what is a byproduct of the see, when byproduct does, it means that when yeah, yeah. When you go to the other state, like if you go to Chennai, your Telugu and that Chennai becomes some other. Like if you say English
Tamil,
and yeah,
Telugu, Hindi.
there is a movie also called Tinglish. That means English and Hindi. There's some called Tinglish. So when there is a fusion. So here, when you're talking, this first lesson is very important. Here when you're talking about the languages which are no, when the period of pre-transportated, before English, before British has took over the rule, what were the languages? That means one is Aryans brought us Sanskrit, and Mughals, that is Muslims, brought us Persia and Arabic. Why there are two languages there? Because Arabic was the only religious language for them. They won't talk in Arabic, but the religion language was Arabic, and they generally used to talk in Persia. So these three fusion of these languages was which is called the byproduct of Urdu. Urdu is a byproduct of these two languages and the cultures. Urdu is again, bought from, you can say it is a Turkish word, which means army or camp. It became a widely spoken language in the North India. You're getting me, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all
Yes,
okay with this lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Interested.
Ma'am,
Very
really,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
they speak
thank
Yes,
Arabic.
yes,
They speak Arabic religious, right?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And she means daily. You say.
Daily use lo వాళ్ళు చేయలేదు. Like daily use lo they did not
Persian.
speak. Yeah, Persian
Persian
was a
was used.
language.
Yeah.
That these are all will again come. There are so many Indo languages. If you go the other side of the Asia, there are so many Indian languages, but who
Indo-Arabic, ma'am. Indo-Arabic.
yeah, Indo-Arabic, there are others, so many, but here we are talking only Indo-Arabic because they came to India. Mughals came to India. So now we have to understand our Indian history. This is our Indian history. We did not have no how this Bengali, Punjabi, all
Really
these
heavy.
languages came because of this. These are the mother languages. This is very important. These are the mother languages. Bengali did not come just like that in the night, like in a blink of eye. Bengali did not come. No, these are the languages, and this has a fusion. Then came the byproduct of Urdu, then Bengali, Punjabi, all these languages are the byproducts, and their mother languages is all like, for all these languages, the mother language is one is Sanskrit, one is Persian, and one is Arab.
Arab.
Correct. So this is about the languages before uh, English. Okay, that's what the pre-transportation stage. We have already discussed about the arrival of European colonizers, and I'll just again go through these things. The what is transportation stage? When you get the question pre-transportation stage, that means you have to just imagine that European. They are talking about the European supremacists who were fighting over the India. So you can see the so and so dates was a period of power struggle. The power struggle is also the other point you have to definitely remember. They established colonies, but they never settled down. This is also the important point, because they were not the settlers. They just wanted to trade and go to their mother. They wanted to take whatever they get and go back to their countries. All the European, because they wanted to go back, they were never ever thought of bringing English into India. But now we are studying about English in India. That is the reason. So that is what you have to have a glimpse. Why they just wanted to trade. They did not wanted to bring English.
మంచిగా ఉందా పరుపు బాగానే ఉందా కవర్ తీసేసిన తర్వాత
Can you
ఇక్కడ
please?
కలర్ ఏం చేంజ్ కాలేదు
So you should also
mute others.
yes please
Pandi. Hey. Mute all others.
Excuse me, please mute yourself. Whoever it is, Sajid Raj, please mute.
No, I want to tell that, can you tell that Srinivas K to mute himself, man.
It is J Babu also, ma'am. It's a lot of noise.
Now he joined.
Yeah.
Babu joined now.
Yeah. So pre-transportation, you have to understand about the European power struggle, and then when you talk about languages, you should before English. Please mute yourself.
Ma'am, you do it, ma'am. You mute everybody.
Ma'am,
You can switch it off.
post mute the.
కొద్దిగా
Madam, mute everybody, madam.
Shahana Sultana also, madam.
Hey.
Nabila ma'am, can you ask Madhuri
It is
ma'am to
Swati's
just
device,
remove them?
ma'am. Swati's device.
Ma'am, can you ask Madhuri ma'am to just remove them?
Swati.
Nabila ma'am? Nabila ma'am, you can do that. You can ask Madhuri ma'am to just remove them from the meeting.
Mute everybody, then unmute yourself.
Ma'am, continue, please.
She also left.
Ma'am, you can unmute yourself, ma'am. Your mic is on mute.
Ma'am, your mic is mute, madam. Please continue, ma'am.
Ma'am, your mic is unmute, ma'am.
Ma'am, your voice not hearing, ma'am.
We are not getting your voice, ma'am. Please unmute yourself.
Oh God, yeah. All these technical things are very new to me. Sorry. Please bear me.
It's all right.
It yeah. So yeah, I was talking
Okay,
about
ma'am.
yeah. Thank you. So we are talking about pre-transportation stage. So arrival of European colonizers, you have to tell why were they fighting? Why were they so much of interested in India? Because they found it as a gorgeous East. Why they found it as a gorgeous East? You know that we are good at spices. So that means you can see there is a point refers to the period when European powers had control over the wealthy and valuable regions of the East, that is India. They considered India as a source of profit. All right. So then you have to also discuss about why, who are settlers, who are colonizers. Then in the transportation stage, what happened? As I discussed, Portuguese, Dutch, British, French. Portuguese, we talk about Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama is actually, he was planning to explore some other country and end up taking the sea route to India. He discovered. So the Portuguese, you have to remember, Portuguese is the first European country who were trading in India, and that Portuguese has established colonies in where Goa, Daman and Diu, that means the Mumbai coastal areas, and Dutch. When Dutch arrived, where did it took his put his empire? That means it arrived in 17th century and established colonies in the places like Pulikat. Pulikat is nothing but Tamil Nadu, Calcutta, Cochin, Kerala, and Surat, that is Gujarat. And after Dutch, it is French. So French, let's talk about British later. Because French took over Dutch. The French arrived in 17th century, established colonies in where? Pondicherry. These things you have to remember. Pondicherry, Yaman, Karaikal. So all the European countries has their own places. Nobody, all their when the Portuguese came, it took over Goa, like that. So you remember these names when you're writing. Then comes the British Raj. British Raj ruled for how many years? This is the about the power struggle which you have to write. Portuguese decline, Dutch overpower, French struggle, British dominance. The British, last what it is, the British became the most established power in India, and due to their supreme trade policies and strong naval power. So these are the things which we are covering. And when you talk about power struggle, you have to also remember that gradually by the end of the 16th century, Portuguese began to lose their commercial supremacy. all the European powers, if you take Portuguese, Dutch, and French and English, did not take, you have to write it till that time, till that period, they did not have any interest to transport or to teach or to bring English as a language to India. When British has succeeded, British success in India was also supported by their dominance in the global trade and maritime strength. So when you talk about this power struggle, you have to end up with this East India Company was established in 1600, and that makes the beginning of the pre-transportation stage. This is beginning of the pre-transportation stage. The East India Company did not show any interest in education, as we discussed. So now you should ask, when you go through your lessons and you have the questions, you when you study all those questions, you would be able to write answers as your own. Before, when you listen all these things, you can write your answers. There is no need to fear, or there is no need for you to step back or think that maybe don't worry about your exams. You can do your exams well when you have knowledge on all these things, because the questions are not the same. They will intermingle the things and ask you the questions. So when you know the topic, you can write. So when whatever we discussed today, like pre-transportation stage, settlers, colonizers, and the languages, what are the languages? Before English, what are the languages? What Aryan used to speak? What Aryanization people were to speak? And what Mughals spoke? What is their language? What about their religious language? What are the byproducts of those languages? So these all the languages, what were the Indian language? This is the prehistory. Actually, this is an interesting topic, not because of this course. You have to know, minimum thing, like what are the history information is given as a part of the introduction of this block. You have to understand the history of India, particularly the history of a British rule. So you know what happened in the pre-transportation age, so stage. Then after this, who is that person? Who is that person taught that to bring English? What happened? Did all agree to bring English to this India, or did they did they think that they should teach English only to the administrative people, or they should put the English subject as into the universities or education? What all happened? All these things you will get to know in the other units. Here, the first unit, here you will know about the pre-transportation age, the power struggle, and the Macaulay's minute. I will also take you to the Macaulay's minute, but there is mm, a larger topic of this Macaulay person. We'll learn about him tomorrow. So just a glimpse what Macaulay has contributed for English language in India. We'll see that. Macaulay, you also know that Macaulay is a person who thought that we'll bring English education to Indian system. He aimed to create a class of English so that we'll teach English to the students. He thought that we'll bring English to the um, education system, like universities, like colleges. But before that, who were talking in English? Only the administrative side and the legal side. Legal side, that means administration and the court. Whenever there is an issue, in India, if the British has to solve it, so who should answer them? So only the court people, whoever they're working with the British Raj, they know English language. How do they know English language? They selected few people there and they used to teach them. This is before Macaulay has thought that English should come to Indian educations. This is, I am talking about before. But Macaulay is the only person who thought that he will bring English into the education systems. Everybody should learn English. Children should learn English. This is his thought. And before his thought, who knows English? How did British manage all their tradings and administration things? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you? Okay.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. You
Can you
can
hear
continue,
me?
ma'am.
Yeah. Macaulay is the only person who bought English education in India. Who is Macaulay? Macaulay was a member of a Council of India. That's what, in the legislative system. In the court, he was working in the court, and he was the president of the Indian Committee of Public Instruction. That's what I said. Before, who were only speaking in English? Who were in the public sector, like, yeah, court, who were administrating in the court, who were working with the Britishers, they only know English. But who thought later, who thought education should be in this universities and in the students, that is Macaulay. Macaulay was, who is Macaulay now? Macaulay is a member of the Council of India. Remember that. Who is Macaulay? First, when you write about Macaulay, you should write Macaulay was a member of the Council of India and also is the president of Indian Committee in the public sector. So what was his plan? His plan was to spread European knowledge. European knowledge is nothing but English language. His main aim was English language. European knowledge and sciences through the medium of English among one section of the people of India, and readily accepted by the government of William Bentinck. Who is this William Bentinck? William Bentinck is the guy who was governing that time. That was a time when Macaulay was wanted to spread European language over India. That was the time who was the European guy, the British guy, whoever was governing the system was the William Bentinck. So we must at present do our best to form a class. What did he say? We must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us. Interpreters, that's what I'm talking about. Whenever there is an administration thing or a court, you should give a in the jurisdiction, like you need to talk about the thing, about the any issue happened there. So if somebody has to communicate to the British people, somebody should be knowing the language. So they used only as a interpreters. So millions who were governed as a class of persons, Indian in blood and color, but English in taste. This is the line you have to mention. What is it? What Macaulay has said, that is, we must. He said that we must at present do our best to form a.
Ma'am, we can't see the PPT, ma'am. The next PPT.
Okay. Yeah, this is about Macaulay. Which PPT you're asking, dear?
The definition one. Definition PPT, ma'am.
Okay. So no. I'll get. No, I'll give you a broader view of Macaulay in the next class. But there is a big broader view of Macaulay. But now you just listen that. What did he say? What were the lines? What was his lines? His lines were, we must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern. A class of persons, he said, Indian in blood and color, but English in taste. These were the lines they used to use. You should remember that Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, in intellectual. Now, here there is no form of, you know, there is no sort of thinking that they will bring English as an education. But before that, they were thinking that they are only the interpreters. We will teach them English so that they'll be only our interpreters. They did not have any idea so that they'll educate us or they will teach English to us. No, 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 no. This was not their idea. Their idea was only that we should be the interpreters, the communicators who have to explain them whatever happened, the incidents. We have to be the interpreters to explain them. They said us, they wanted that interpreters between us and the millions who we govern.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of Indian in blood and color but English in taste?
Yeah. Indian in blood ante I'll come to Telugu. So
Can you
uh,
elaborate? Can you
yeah,
elaborate that statement, ma'am?
yeah. I'll tell you. Indian in blood and color. They are saying, the British people are saying to Indians that they are only Indians in blood and in color. But whatever their thinking, whatever their intellectuality, whatever their morals and opinions, they wanted to change it through English. Okay, they are aiming that. So they are discussing themselves like
Biologically, we will be
yeah,
biologically will be Indians, but
yeah.
mentally they have tried to change as a
They
British.
wanted to, yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. This is all also an offended statement. We have to get offended for this kind of statements. So that's why I'm not getting into it. So it's a bad thing that they said to us like that. So they are saying that Indian in blood and color, but English in taste and opinion. So it is kind something like hypnotizing. So when you hypnotize a person, he's just a person, but he'll do everything whatever the hypnotism man is saying. Correct?
Yes,
In the
yes.
same way, they are thinking that we have to make something like Katputlis. We have to make them Indians as a we have to use them as a Katputli, as a doll. But they'll look as an Indian. Their blood is an Indian. They don't look like an English guy or English. So that is what they're saying. So this is an also an offended statement they used. So that is there. It is written in your books. So you can write it in your books when they have offended us, when they had spoken something low about us. Okay. So to all that classes, we may leave it to redefine the vernacular dialects. This is about, in opinions, in morals, and in intellects. To that class, we may leave to it to redefine the vernacular dialects to the country, to enrich those dialects with terms of science borrowed from the Western Norman culture, and to render them to degrees fit vehicles for conveying knowledge to great mass of people. So, at a stroke, English became the language of government. When this happened, then that time English has become the language of government, education, and advancement at the same time of symbol of colonial rule. As a result of the policy, English teaching universities were established in Bombay, Calcutta, Madras in 1857, which is also called the mutiny, the year of the Great Mutiny. In the hello, by the end of the 19th century, with many more colleges and the universities set up, English became the prestige language of Indian subcontinent, completely replacing Persian, Sanskrit, Hindi, and other languages of India. This is what you have to get into your things. Like, first, when we talk about the transportation, what all happened in the transportation, why before the English language, what all the languages were there in India, what are the byproducts of those mother languages, then what happened in the So, sorry to interrupt. There is also Carter Act. Before this Macaulay, there is also Carter Act. What are these Carter Acts? What are these Carter Acts? Carter Acts are nothing but the laws passed by the British Parliament from 1953 to 1850. Any laws which are passed by the British Parliament uh, are comes under Carter Acts to regulate the East India Company rule in India. Okay. There is also, see,
Ma'am,
whatever
can we
the
also pronounce that the charter or carter?
Charter Act. Sorry.
Charter, ma'am. It is Charter
Yeah,
Act.
Charter Act. Yeah,
Charter.
sorry. Sorry, that is a Charter Act. Okay. It is Charter Act. So, when you gone through all the PPTs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
See what what did we see? Our subject is English, as English in India. What did we see? We are proud to say that India has many languages. So, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, all the vernacular and non-vernacular languages you came across to. Then, who are the settlers and colonizers?
Madam, your voice is breaking a lot.
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
You're
ma'am. You are.
audible, ma'am.
Yes,
Audible.
ma'am. You are audible.
Yeah. So, who are the settlers and colonizers? You very well know. Okay. So, these things you learned today. And arrival of Aryans, arrival of Muslims, and pre-transportation age. Arrival Aryans. What did you know about Arya? What did you came? What did you know today about the arrival of Aryans? Aryans migrated to the Indian subcontinent. This is about the Vedic and early Vedic civilization. I'm talking about Vedic and early Vedic civilizations. There comes a Sanskrit language there. So because Aryan is from Indo-European language, Sanskrit is their language. So they wrote in a Sanskrit language and they spoke also Sanskrit. So as this was going over the 3,000 years ago, then comes as when Muslims has invaded, that is Mughals, Muslims, that is which is nothing but Mughals. All the Mughal Empire was established in India. Then from them, which language has come? Persian and Arabic. Yes, Arabic. But Arabic they did not speak as a common language. That was only for their religion purpose. And Persian they used to speak as a common language as a daily use. Then the byproduct of this Urdu, not only Persian and Arabic, but also Sanskrit. These are the mother. Whenever you talk about languages, what are the mother languages? That means Persian, Arabic, and Sanskrit. These are the mother languages of our India. Okay. And byproduct of these languages is Urdu. From Urdu emerged all these another languages which we all know, that is Punjabi and Hindi. Okay. And then when you talk about pre-transportation age, you should talk about European empire. What are the European power struggle? Okay. Who are the European countries who fought for Indian the great gorgeous in East? Who fought and why did they fight? Just to take over, but then they never thought of settling here and they never thought of bringing English here. These European countries have never thought to bringing these things you should speak. The- they were never the motive. The motive of them was never to bring the English or English language to the India. So in the pre-transportation age, you will also talk about the power struggle, and you will talk about the settlers and colonizers, right? And you will talk about the languages also. Then, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Continue, ma'am.
yes. So in the pre-transportation age, who all the supremacy countries, European countries, that is Portuguese, Dutch, and British
Portuguese.
and French.
Yes.
Yeah. So who took over which place? Everything is there in your screen there, right? And Dutch took over Portuguese, French took over Dutch, and
Spanish took over.
British took over
Yes.
French. At last, British was the ruling, and we'll also call it as a British Raj, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, then the East India Company. Then you'll talk about East India. Don't. I did not write here. I'm sorry to say that I did not write about the East India Company, but you should write the East India Company with the British. That is, there is an East Indian Company was established in 1600, and that marks the beginning of the pre-transportation stage of English. This is only pre-transportation stage, but when it comes to English, you should say from the time of British is only the pre-transportation stage. You're getting me right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. అంటే ప్రీ ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ స్టేజ్లో ఇవన్నీ జరిగినాయి. దెన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ అప్పుడు వచ్చింది అంటే బ్రిటిష్ ఎప్పుడైతే స్టార్ట్ అయిందో దెన్ యూ విల్ కాల్ దట్ యాజ్ అన్ ఆల్సో ద ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ ఆల్సో ఎస్టాబ్లిష్డ్ కదా బ్రిటిష్ టైంలో ఇట్ ఇస్ ఇన్ 600. That the marks the beginning of the pre-transportation stage of English in India. So then you should say that this East Indian Company never ever thought of bringing education or English into the universities or whatever schools, anything like that. But in 1813, the East India Company was bought under the control of the British Parliament. Okay, then I told you, Charter Act. British Parliament was the one who who has given this who used to give the laws, and the East India Company started showing interest in the appudu, and that was the time East India Company was showing interest in education. The Charter Reviews of 1853 established an open committee session system of public examinations.
Charter Act.
Ma'am,
Charter
during the
Act has
Charter
been
Act,
emerged. It was emerged in 1813, ma'am. 1813.
Yeah, 1813.
Yeah.
Did it? Okay, okay. Here it is 1833, right?
Yeah.
That is what you are
1813.
correcting me. Yes,
No,
please come
no,
again.
ma'am. You told it 1853.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay, acha. Okay, sorry. Okay, 1830. The 1813 is the time, right?
Actually,
Ma'am,
in this act, ma'am, financial grant towards the revival of Indian literature, ma'am. 1 lakh rupees.
Yeah, in which
yes,
act?
1 lakh rupees.
1853, right?
1813, ma'am.
1813, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
1 lakh for the education of Indians, ma'am.
Yeah. And this has bought by Macaulay, right?
No, ma'am. Charter Act of 1813.
Okay. Yes. Charter Act of 1813 is correct.
But
Actually,
they did not use 1 lakh
Charter
rupee, ma'am.
Act was
It was
started from 1813 to 1833. The duration was.
In
Yeah.
this period, Lord Hastings, ma'am, Governor General of India.
Yes, but see, we are only talking about transportation phase, right? Now,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would love to know if you're coming up with this kind of interaction. I would love to go with it, but no, just now in the no, in the starting of the session, they did not like in the interactive class.
No,
Ma'am, please go ahead.
no, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So if
Interactive class are very much comfortable and yeah, to
yeah,
get more.
Yes.
Actually,
See,
your class is very informative and very useful class, ma'am. That's what.
thank you. But it is like not just me alone speaking. I would love you also interact because even I can learn few things from you. I'm always open to that.
Sure. Thank you for your broad mindset.
No. That's fine. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes, yes.
small question, ma'am.
Please.
మన సౌత్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ కూడా ఉర్దూ సంస్కృత్ నుంచి వస్తాయా మేడం?
సౌత్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ తమిళ్ అంటే ఇంకా మనం అంతే అనుకోవాలి. తమిళ్ వచ్చింది కదా.
సో ద్రవిడియన్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ నుండి వస్తాయి మేము.
ఏవి?
ఉర్దూ, తమిళ్, కేరళ, తెలుగు.
కానీ మన బుక్ లో అయితే అట్లా లేదు కదా. ఆర్యన్ నుంచి వచ్చింది కదా.
తెలుగు, తమిళ్, కన్నడ, మలయాళం 4 మేడం ద్రవిడియన్ లాంగ్వేజెస్.
ఓకే, అవును అవునవును. ఇట్లా తెలుగు, తమిళ్, ఇట్లా కన్నడ, మలయాళం కొంచెం ఆల్మోస్ట్ సేమ్ ఉంటాయి కదా. మనం అర్థం చేసుకోగలుగుతాం వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడుతుంటే కూడా. ఇది మన తెలుగు, తమిళ్ సేమ్
ఉర్దూ
అనిపిస్తుంది.
ఫ్రమ్ పర్షియా మేడం.
యా, పర్షియా, కరెక్ట్.
It is a foreign language.
Yeah, that's what I told you. But this Urdu is a byproduct, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Persia and Sanskrit and Arabic ఇవన్నీ కలిసినాక ఉర్దూ వచ్చింది.
Yes, ma'am.
అదొక ఫ్యూజన్, మంచి ఫ్యూజన్. సో ఇఫ్ యు సీ ద లాంగ్వేజ్ ఆల్సో మీకు అక్కడక్కడ హింట్స్ తెలిసిపోతుంటది. ఉర్దూకి, ఉర్దూకి, అరబ్బీకి, యా, అదొకటి ఉంటది కదా, ఫ్లేవర్ అది తెలిసిపోతుంటది. సో దట్స్ అ ట్రూ థింగ్. దానికి వీ కెనాట్ డినై హిదర్ యాక్చువల్లీ. సో దీస్ మన తెలుగు, తమిళ్, మలయాళం ఇదంతా ద్రవిడియన్ లాంగ్వేజెస్. సో బికాస్ అవి ఒక ఫ్యూజన్ లాగా, అవి ఒకటి తెలుగు అన్ని సేమ్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఫారినర్కి తెలుగు, తమిళ్ ఇవన్నీ సేమ్ అనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ హిందీ డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది. ఇదంతా బికాస్ ఇది ద్రవిడియన్ నుంచి వచ్చింది కాబట్టి. రైట్, ప్లీజ్ షేర్ యువర్ వ్యూస్.
Dravidian is South Indian language. That's what I heard. Good. But,
Please, ma'am, can you be a little louder?
South
Yes,
Indian
ma'am. Continue, ma'am. Continue. You're right.
languages
Continue.
are Dravidians, right?
Yeah.
So,
Ma'am, can you go ahead, please? Yeah.
Yeah. So when we are talking about the English education, there is also, I wanted to say that Anglo-Indians వాళ్ళ చిల్డ్రన్కి, సో వాళ్ళ చిల్డ్రన్కి ఇంగ్లీష్ ఫస్ట్ వచ్చింది అనమాట. Anglo-Indians, then Indians were the following their own pattern of the education అప్పుడు. సో Anglo-Indians వాళ్ళు అప్పుడు దే లెర్న్ ద ఇంగ్లీష్, చిల్డ్రన్, Anglo-Indians చిల్డ్రన్స్కి ఇంగ్లీష్ వాళ్ళు నేర్పించారు. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఈస్, హూఆర్ మనకు అప్పుడు స్కూల్స్ ఉండనా? డెఫినెట్లీ ఉండే. ఇంగ్లీష్ లేకుండానే మనకు స్కూల్స్ ఉండే. వీ హ్యాడ్ అవర్ స్కూల్స్ విచ్ వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ పాఠశాలాస్ కదా. అండ్ ముస్లిమ్స్ కాల్ దేర్ స్కూల్స్ యాజ్ మదర్సాస్, మక్తబాస్, మదర్సాస్, and if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and we as a Telugu, like people, we call it as Gurukulas also.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So these were the education systems before these English universities were there. Indians were following their own pattern of education in the paఠశాlas, the madrasas, and the Persian schools called maktabas, and other schools teaching through modern Indian languages, educations in the temples, and domestic education too in the Gurukulas formed the basis of what the British termed as the indigenous education. They termed this as an indigenous education. Mana education ni they, before these Indian British bought this English education, we have our paఠశాlas, madrasas,
during ancient times, Gatikas are the educational institutes, ma'am.
Okay. I think Gatikas or before paఠశాlas, I think so. Good.
Yes, ma'am. Gatikas.
Okay. Nice. You can write that point also there.
Yeah, Gatikas, ma'am. It's the Vishnukund Pallavas period, ma'am.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, Guru Dakshina, that time, is that is a
Yes,
time there?
madam. Means Pallavas,
Yeah.
Kachipuram, Gatika were the most important educational institutions. That is
You're
in South.
talking, okay, these Gatikas are before, I think so, Gurukulas, I think so, right? More
Yes, ma'am.
ancient than Gurukulas.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nice point you gave me today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And um, the East India Company had the status of Jagirdars and the Mughal sovereigns. The victory, the Battle of the Palsi, gave them political strength, and with the Diwani Act of 1765, the British became the virtual rulers of Bengal. Subsequently, they fought many battles, but rarely won any till 1798. Please, can you, excuse me? Please, can you mute whoever it is because I cannot see the name.
Divakar, madam. Sara Divakar.
Is it?
What, ma'am?
Uh, no, no, no. Can you? Uh, there is a disturbance. In the first phase of history of English in India, the interaction in English was between two disparate systems. On the one hand, where the Indian rulers were the politicking, intriguing, and internal feuds for maintaining territorial control. On the other hand, the British merchants who were trying to become rulers. The interlocutors were mainly the feudal chiefs. Their countries, the higher rung of the feudal country hierarchy, and the East Indian Company. The loci was the urban and the feudal power centuries. The use of the use of English in advertisements was an extension of the bureaucratic domain, and the Indian merchants, who were the Indian merchants, used it for advertising in the newspapers published from Calcutta, Bombay. The advertisements resembled bureaucratic notices. The English language was constitutive of the print media, which made its beginning during this phase and gradually got entrenched into the use of the English in India. The East India Company encouraged a small section of Indian entrepreneurs to undertake commercial virtues catering to the needs of the East India Company. Not only newspapers, but also the related systems of government control became in being. And the expression of government of India occurred in official document of information. The print media linked the important cities of British colony. The English language did not make any significant impact on the lives of the people there. English was a prominent feature in the phase of the history in India. And there is also the other point about the missionaries, the Christian missionaries. The Christian missionaries became active. You also know they came for the conversion. So these people also had their hand in bringing English in India, and how, if we look into it, the missionaries became active in which century? That is 18th century. Their aim was conversion, and the means to this end were the Indian languages, not English. For example, if you see William Carey, have you heard about him? William Carey. William Carey was the first English missionary, brought out a book on Sanskrit grammar. This is again into the language side section where the translation is taking place from which language? Sanskrit to English. William Carey, an English missionary, brought out a book on Sanskrit grammar. and an English translation of the Ramayana, and he is the one who started the newspaper in Bengali. Being a, an English guy, he started a newspaper in a Bengali language. He also has his hand in turning out this Sanskrit into an English grammar book. There is no evidence of English being taught till then. Also, there is no evidence of English being taught as a subject before 1800, and there was no clear policy on education until the East India Company was forced to do so, which is called the, as you said, I skipped out the the line which you said that they granted 1 lakh rupees for the English thing. So before this, I'm talking about when East India Company was forced to do so by the Charter Act in 1813. Before that, I'm talking all this missionary has also English missionaries who were also the conversions of the religion. They also has their hand um, in the English language. And how that means, you can talk about the person called William Carey. He is an English missionary. He brought out the book on Sanskrit grammar. That means he translated it. The Sanskrit grammar he translated into English, and he also translated Ramayana into English language. And he is the one who started the newspaper.
Excuse
Newspapers.
me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sir, ma'am, it's already time, ma'am. We have another class.
I didn't know this. What is it? Okay, 3. So how it goes, because I am technically very poor, like in the PPT section. So will this automatically get closed, or we have to forcefully come out of the class?
Everyone will leave class, ma'am.
Okay.
Finally, you can start. Or
Okay. Okay. If chalo. Then if it because it is already 3, we'll wind up here, but we'll look into the glimpse of all these things, whatever you have learned, but how the languages, what are the vernacular languages, and the sessions. Uh, do you have another class? You want me to close it here, or should I go give a quick recap?
It is at 3:15, ma'am.
Yeah,
We
you
can
have
go for a
class.
quick.
Yeah, I'll go.
The next class starts with 3:15 to 4:45, ma'am.
3:15. Okay, okay. So you mean I can take 5 minutes?
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So you can see the see the screen, like we talk about the languages in India. That means there you have to talk about our multitude vernacular languages which we have in our great India. That is, we have a good heritage, and we are proud of our heritage. Like we have unity in diversity. We have many languages. All the languages have their scripts. 22 languages officially are there, and unofficial languages are the remaining other languages. So you have to talk about this. You have to talk about settlers and colonizers. Who are settlers? Who are colonizers? Then comes Aryans, arrival of Muslims in India. Then what are the pre-transportation stage, arrival of European colonizers, is why they called it as gorgeous East India, and who all the European countries were fighting for the supremacy, that is called Portuguese, Dutch, and British and French. Who took over what? And then last, who were ruling? The British Raj were ruling. Then with the British Raj comes the East India Company, and comes the English in India there. So this is the decline of all the supremacy countries. And when you talk about Charter Acts, you should say the law passed by the British Parliament. Nothing but act is nothing but laws which are passed by the British Parliament. Charter need renewal, all these things. And you have to also mention that Queen Elizabeth signed the charter in 1600 to establish the East India Company. And then comes Macaulay. Macaulay will get a border view on the Macaulay in the next class. That means tomorrow, right? So this is a few lines about Macaulay. You can also go through that few things in your textbook. It is there. Then that's the end of the class for today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
ma'am.
You
Thank
enjoyed
you
the
so
class,
much, ma'am.
dear?
Class
Madam,
was
thank
very
you so much.
interested.
Ma'am, few of them both are
Is
not
it?
clear.
You're really saying it or you're just boosting it?
No, ma'am.
Really, ma'am.
Really
Really, it
very
was so
nice, ma'am.
impressive. Very nice.
Thank you. And I
Thank
also
you, ma'am.
wanted
Thank
to
you.
say that sorry if I no, I did some
No, ma'am, no need
technical
to say
wrongs.
sorry.
Technical
Ma'am,
wrongs were there.
I just wanted to know vernacular and non-vernacular once, ma'am. It's like native who speaks, who are something it is there.
Yeah.
Native language spoken by ordinary people,
Right.
and non-native is like